sometimes you wonder how come people do not want to be in your energy. How come they don't want to date you? How come they don't want to be friends with you? They don't want to deal with you at work. They don't want to deal with you as a neighbor, as an acquaintance. And this is something I had to accept. And when you have spiritual gifts, when you have psychic abilities, when you have spiritual discernment, you're going to come off as a hater. And people are going to try to challenge you because they don't have the ability, because they're not tapped in to see what you're able to see. There's times where you're going to be able to see things into their life. And a lot of people have this idea that only they can see into their life. Only they can see into their future. But here you come with your spiritual gifts, your spiritual discernment, and your psychic abilities, and they can't handle that. And this is something that I accepted. And this is why through the years I've become more silent, and I don't tell people everything that I see about them or about people that's close to them. And there are people who call me a hater to my face. So I was thinking about this because the other day I was at work with talking to a co-worker / friend. Her and I became friends. We're pretty close now. We hang out every week. And I noticed that she does this thing where, you know, when she sees a pretty woman, she's like, look at her. Don't you think she's pretty? And I'll say like the last couple of times that she said this to me, I was like, oh, she's all right. You know, and then she asked me, but thank goodness she is spiritually in tune herself, but she's just a little bit on a different level. So she was like, how come you don't think that girl's pretty? And I said, see, you're looking at her physical. When I look at people and I see their beauty, it's not just, they can't just be good looking on the outside. I am seeing their spirit. You know, there's even celebrities that, oh my gosh, they're so pretty, they're so fine, male and women. And I don't see it. I can't. When you're able to see people's soul, when you're able to see people's demons, we're not going to be that person that agrees that everyone thinks this person is fine. We don't see that. Another thing is we could see into relationships too. You know, this happened to me twice where I dated these two guys for about 6 months. The first dude, he chose another woman over me, and I supported it. I said, no problem, you know. I even went to his wedding, and I told him, don't marry this girl. And within a year, he wanted to divorce her to come back to me. I wasn't interested, though. The second guy, I didn't even know he was engaged and was sneaking around with me. You know, thank goodness, you know, we didn't have an intimate relationship. But I also told him, don't marry her. The marriage is not going to last. I think their marriage is over in 6 months. I think they were able to get an annulment. But we could see into the future, into people's relationships, into people's situation with work, career, you know, friendships, family relationships. We can see who is who. And a lot of people can't. And even when you try to tell them about that man or that woman, they're not going to listen. Most people, I'll say 80% of the time, people do not listen to me. They don't care about the gifts. A lot of people don't even believe you have gifts because they don't have them. They don't have the gift of sight. They don't have psychic abilities. They don't even have the ability to see into their own life, into their own future. So you got to get comfortable with being seen as a liar. They're going to think you're a liar, and they're going to think you're a hater, and they're going to think that you don't know nothing that you're talking about. So a lot of times I just do a lot of smiling, and I stay silent, and I don't go running to people telling them, yeah, you know, your marriage is not going to work. Yeah, that guy doesn't like you. That woman doesn't like you. Yeah, you're not going to get that job. You're not supposed to be there. Yeah, those friends are not good for you. I don't go around preaching anymore. Sometimes some information is just for you just to know. I don't know why, God, spirit, the ancestors be snitching on these people and telling me all their business. But don't worry about it. You're going to always be looked at as a hater. Because most of the time, you got to keep in mind, information that they don't even know in their own life. And take it as a blessing. Take it as a blessing that you can see into your life and you can see into others. And this is also protection for yourself when you're in certain situations. And don't second guess it. When you are getting messages, psychic messages, spiritual downloads about even things of you, don't second guess it. I notice that people who have spiritual gifts, spiritual discernment, we tend to waste time and hold it off. Don't hold it off. Believe your intuition, believe your gut, believe your spiritual eye when you are feeling, hearing, and seeing the message. You're getting these downloads to warn you before something comes, and you have to accept also people are not going to listen to you. You might tell somebody, don't go to that party, don't go to that job, don't leave the house today, and they might not answer you and they might not come back home because they didn't listen to you. But it's not your job to try to force people to see the information that you're able to see through your spiritual gifts. But yeah, that was just a quick message to let you know that's why some people don't want to F with you. They think you a hater because you don't see with the same eyes in the same eye that everybody else does. That's the reason why. Don't forget to donate. Don't forget to book your phone sessions, and all that information will be found in my comment section. God bless.